Aguero, I'm making a stop before I head back. Mind meeting me there?
Was all Bam told him before sending coordinates for a location a floor below where they were currently stationed. That's how Kunigoro Agnes found himself back on the 130th floor. That floor was the Sea of Tranquility. There wasn't much to see, just a group of perfectly round tropical islands with a strangely annoying test. To pass it, each team of regulars was allotted one small cabin in one small island. It was so small that they could walk on the beach and travel around it in just one day. They had to live off the land while sharing a cabin with bunk beds for only half their number, no separate rooms, no power, no running water, and no connection to the outside. In that time, they were required to be inside the cabin to sleep when the fake Shinzu sun sets, rise when it rises, never to raise their voices, and not to fight in any way, nor use any type of violence for 30 days. For a group of people with strong personalities and unwieldy characters, the cabin was a tinderbox of dissension. Every little thing, distribution of chores especially, became points of contention. Not even Bam's powers of persuasion prevented voices from being raised or fights from breaking out. By their 5th try, they've learned to dread the resonating peals of the bells that rang to accuse them of ruining the place's serenity whenever any of the rules were broken. Luckily, they could restart the test a week after each one was cut short by their failures. Kun exasperatedly ordered everyone not to talk unless utterly necessary and threatened to release years' worth of blackmail material for anyone who caused them to fail the next round. Everyone left that floor with bloodshot eyes and frayed nerves. Safe to say, Kun did not have favorable memories of that floor. Yet now he was back, standing on a quiet beach as frothy waves softly gurgled a few steps from where he stood, frowning at his lighthouse. There was no mistake. The coordinates Bam gave him were right in the middle of the calm blue sea. However, Shinzu and Suspendium-run transports did not work over these waters. As Kun wondered whether he should go back for some kind of boat, a porpoise surfaced not far from where he was. And if he didn't know any better, it looked like it was watching him. Feeling very silly, Kun looked left and right before addressing the curious creature.
Will you take me to Bomb?
To his astonishment, the porpoise nodded and approached him. Kun took off his shoes, slipped off his socks, and gingerly climbed aboard. It wasn't much different from riding a horse, he thought, except very wet, and the smell of brine tickled his nose. Sprays of seawater sparkled in the air as they traversed the clear blue expanse with remarkable speed. Soon they left the island far behind. They must have traveled for almost an hour, and yet all Kun saw was water all around. Then, as they were about a mile from where he supposed the coordinates were, Kun felt an unmistakable pop in his ears and a squeeze on his body that indicated he had just passed an invisible barrier. Lo and behold, he finally saw land. The porpoise deposited him on the beach and, with a wave of its fin, disappeared under the waves. Kun looked inland as he changed his clothes. There he saw the most magnificent forest he had ever seen, a mass of pinkness soft as cotton candy clouds. He has only been looking at it for a few minutes, and already a feeling of calm has suffused his senses. Having buttoned on a crisp new white shirt and a pair of khaki pants, he slipped on his shoes and walked inland through the forest to the meeting point. As he traversed a cobbled path, he saw that the trees were actually crowned with hundreds of elegant little pink blossoms. They were quite delicate, shedding their petals in fluttering showers at each gentle coaxing of the playful breeze. Kun has trained himself to constantly be on alert for threats, anything out of the ordinary. But walking through that forest of extraordinary beauty, he couldn't help but wonder at the lack of that energy of the tower that always made him feel on edge, That sense of urgency to desire and fight for something. That feeling that the tower was always watching and oppressing his lungs. For the first time in years, Kun felt like he could breathe freely. He was wondering at the freshness of the cool afternoon air when his vision was suddenly obstructed. A pair of warm, calloused hands.
Bomb.
Kun smiled fondly as he held them and leaned into the strong body behind him. The wave controller has a cute habit of hiding his presence and sneaking up on him. There was no way Kun won't recognize his lover's touch, though. Besides, Bomb was the only one who was fast enough to do it without raising any of Kun's alarms. Shibusu tried it once while they were taking the test on that floor and ended up a frozen popsicle, triggering the doleful bells. Kun, in his ire, left the poor trickster to wallow in the cold for the rest of the day.
I missed you, Aguero.
Bomb took Kun's hands as he wrapped his arms around the latter. His fingers caressed the golden band on Kun's finger that matched his own.
I missed you too.
Kun conceded, his cheeks blooming blushes at that show of affection. Bama always had a way of making him feel all warm and tingly.
Why are we here, Bomb? Taking time to smell the flowers.
Now that Bomb mentioned it, there was indeed a delicate fragrance in the air. It was a subtly alluring perfume, barely there.
What's the occasion? It's not our anniversary, is it?
A fleeting cold washed over Kun as he frantically searched his memory for every important date they ever celebrated. Their wedding, the day they became a couple, their first kiss, their first date, Bomb's birthday every month, his birthday, the first time they met. They've celebrated those precious occasions with zeal. It's not always something grand. Sometimes it's just a single wildflower on his lighthouse, a neatly folded note in a flowing script slipped in Bam's pocket, a quickly thrown together breakfast or take-out dinner for two on whatever floor they were, in whatever accommodation or ship they were for the day. Kun twisted in Bam's arms so he could look him in the eye.
It's spring.
Bam smiled and dropped a kiss on his nose.
And?
Kun waited. Surely there was something he was missing. Bam loosened his hold on Kun and laced their hands together as he guided him through the path.
I don't need to wait for a special occasion to go on a date with my husband, do I?
Bam smiled and kissed the back of their clasped hands.
Sometimes it's okay to just appreciate the beautiful things in life, the important things. So, you're saying we should celebrate you being my gorgeous husband?
Kun smirked.
Kun?
Bam laughed.
I'm just saying.
He shrugged.
But we have a lot. Shh. I learned they're called cherry blossoms or sakura trees. They're so beautiful, but they will only last for a week or two.
Bam lifted a tiny petal stuck in Kun's hair.
Shouldn't we enjoy them while they last? Life is too short to wake up in the morning with regrets. After discovering this hidden sanctuary, I knew I wanted to share it with you. So now you're not just confident, you've grown wise and glib, too.
Kun teased.
I'm not wise, but I mean what I say. You inspire me.
Bam squeezed his hand.
I want good things for you. I want good things for us. I've always wondered if it was okay for me to dream of happiness and happy endings. Then I realized, why not? Do you think we can? The tower has always been jealous and unforgiving.
Kun hummed, lulled by the surreal calmness in the atmosphere.
You forget, I'm an irregular. This tower cannot bind me. And as my partner and the one I have chosen to bind myself to, I will fight tooth and nail to wrench you from its influence too. Bomb, even if that were possible, I wouldn't ask you to fight my battles. I don't fight them for you, I fight them alongside you. There's a difference.
Bam insisted brightly.
I've already pledged my heart and soul to you. Today, I choose to be happy with you.
A strange-looking pavilion greeted them in the middle of the sakura forest. A majestic golden 3-story structure.
A temple?
Kuhn wondered as he looked up at its towering spires.
It might have been, long ago. Now it's just a fancy accommodation for people who would like to enjoy the Sakura to its fullest. It's a place of meditation where people can practice truly being in the moment. In the moment? To do one thing at a time. Today, I promise to completely focus on the task at hand. And what is that?
Pale lashes fluttered over enchanting blue irises, beguiling Bam once again.
Right now, I want to appreciate this priceless view with you. I don't want to think about anything or anyone else. For a day, let's forget about the rest of the tower. Okay.
Kuhn agreed, helplessly endeared by the tenderness in those golden eyes he adored. Besides, he's already promised long ago to accept whatever decision Bam made. The wind picked up, and there was a soft caress of pink petals gently riding the breeze. The peaceful atmosphere was lifting their spirits, evoking a sense of relaxation and oneness with the beauty surrounding them.
I had snacks prepared for us.
Bam inclined his head to a spot beneath the spreading branches of a couple lovely sakura trees. They found a picnic laid out for them on a blue blanket. There was a steaming pot of cherry blossom tea and a platter of delightful onigiri decorated with pickled cherry blossom flowers. The beautiful vivid pink was a lovely contrast with the pearlescent grains of rice. And so they sat amidst that dreamy landscape while they drank their tea slowly and reverently, as if it was the axis on which the tower itself revolved, slowly, evenly, at least for today, without rushing towards the future.
Rather than worrying constantly about the future, I think I want to make sure I enjoy most of the moments that come to pass, especially the ones I spend with you. I say most because it's probably unrealistic to enjoy every one given how busy we are, unless you're willing to run away with me and leave everything behind. But we have too many responsibilities to do that, too many people supporting us that we cannot ignore. But enjoying these precious moments with you is something I can definitely do.
Bam leaned affectionately on Kuhn.
Who are you, and what have you done to my husband?
Kuhn laughed, eyes twinkling, redness on his cheeks. Bam continued resolutely, intent on showing at least some of the gratefulness he felt.
Have I ever told you how happy you make me? Even surrounded by all this breathtaking beauty, you are still the most beautiful of all. I don't need any stars or thrones when the one that fills my heart and gives everyday meaning is right here with me. For so long I've been blindly forging ahead. Thank you for always being my light. Thank you for never giving up on me, my Aguero. I love you, and only you. I love you too.
Kuhn choked tearfully, and Bam sealed the vow with a kiss. If you liked this video, please give it a like, and if you're interested in more content like this, please consider subscribing. And I have my Ko-fi linked in the description below. Have a good morning, noon, or night, and I will see you all next time.